Hi guys, this is Gerald Acuarta of jerrymedia.com and Podcast Pilipinas, and you're seeing now a video of me setting up my microphone and my mic stand in my humble office home studio, and there I am walking towards the camera. And this is the place where I usually do my podcast every morning. I do this Monday to Saturday, and as you can see, I'm showing you a view of my desk, which is kind of cluttered right now because I'm doing so many things. And usually I clean my desk on weekends after a busy week. And there's my DVD collection of the Experts Academy training course from Brendan Burchard. And there's my pet, my piggy, small piggy. And there's my keyboard. Then I'm showing you my books on the floor. Marketing books, programming books, and self-improvement books. There's my guitar, and here's my robot, the Rad 40. This is our recreation room. I use this as my studio for my podcast every morning, and it's where I also do some lifting. And there's the computers of my boys. They do their homeworks and they play games there. And let me see, there's a couch, there's the patio, the deck, and there's my corner. Alright, so now I'm gonna show you what I did last Saturday. So last Saturday, September 14th, 2013, we launched a new show on the Podcast Pilipinas, and this is called Tonight with Tonzi. And it's a 2-hour show every Saturday from 10 p.m. That's Manila time, and it's hosted by our man in Manila, Tonzi, and it's also co-hosted by Shandala and yours truly. So last Saturday we launched the show, and we had a premiere episode. And that morning, I had a guest in the house, and I couldn't podcast from the recreation room because I would be loud and I would be, they're gonna hear me. So I had to find a spot in the house where I could do the podcast. And the first thing that came to my mind was the garage, because I actually started podcasting from the garage because I thought I would need a soundproof room to podcast. But it was still summer back then, and it was kind of warm inside. So I had to go back to the recreation room. But now summer's almost over and the temperatures are getting cooler, so it's now okay for me to podcast from the garage on some days. So last Saturday we launched Tonzi's show, and I set up my laptop on the garage. Like, I had to find a place where to put the laptop, and I found this plastic drawer, and I put my laptop there. I set up my microphone, which is a Samsung Q2U dynamic microphone. I'm gonna show it to you on the next screen. There it is. You don't have to really have an expensive microphone to podcast. I bought this on Best Buy, but if you want to buy it on Amazon, it's $54 right now with free shipping. It's a good microphone. I like it, and it has a USB connection to the computer. So it's a USB microphone. It comes with a noise cancelling headset. So you get 2 pieces with this package. So I would recommend it. You don't have to, buy expensive microphones. You just can use this one, and it's the one I'm using right now to speak. And so I set up that microphone on and hook it up with the computer. As you can see, my setup is in the middle of my tools, and I had to stand up because I really don't like podcasting all the time, sitting and sometimes it helps for me to stand up and sometimes walk around while talking, while podcasting. And here last Saturday, I was standing while I was talking, and I was in the background during this podcast because it was Tonzi who's talking most of the time. He was the main host, and I was only operating the DJ panel on Spreaker. So I'm not going into the details about the technology that we're using right now, but let me just walk you through the technology that we're using, the software. So we're using Spreaker, which is Spreaker.com. This is a platform where you can broadcast on the web live. You can do podcasts, you can do music DJing, and you can do a lot of stuff as long as it's audio. So we broadcast through Spreaker. We then embed the Spreaker audio player on our PinoyPodcast.com/live page, where we have the player right here, and we have a live chat box. Right now there's nobody in the chat box because we're not airing live right now. So but if you go there, you will see a live chat box. So while we are broadcasting, while we are podcasting, we have a live audience, so we get a lot of interactions. And we are using Chatroll for our chat box. So Chatroll is free for 10 chatters at the same time. If you have a growing audience, you can go with their premier accounts. But if you're just starting, you can use the Chatroll free account, which allows for 10 live chatters at the same time. So we have the Chatroll and the Spreaker audio player on our webpage. We send our visitors there, we send our traffic there every time we are on live broadcast. As I said, you don't need to have expensive equipment to start podcasting. I'm using my Toshiba satellite laptop. It's a A665 S5199X. It's a basic laptop. I bought it for around 800 that time. I think it's only like 699 right now, but it's no longer available in most stores. It's a good laptop. It has a Harman Kardon speakers. It has Dolby Advanced Audio. But I really don't need the speaker system for this laptop to podcast, because I am just sending the audio signals to Skype, and then Skype sends it to Spreaker.com. And I had to use a third-party software to do this. It's called the Virtual Audio Cable. With Virtual Audio Cable, you can transfer your audio streams between applications or devices. So if you if you Google virtual audio cable, you can see it. It's a simple software, and it looks like this when you run it. Okay, I hope you can see that. We have 3 lines. I have 2 lines and 3 repeaters. Again, I'm not going into the details. I'm gonna make a separate video about this software, but I just want to give you an overview of the system I'm using. I'm gonna give you a different view of my setup last Saturday in my garage. There you can see I'm in the middle of my tools, and I'm not saying you should do this, but what my point is, you don't have to have a fancy setup. You can practically broadcast anywhere as long as you have a computer. You don't need a fancy computer. You can have a simple basic computer. You can have a basic simple microphone like the one I'm using, which is a dynamic microphone. I really recommend that you get a dynamic microphone and don't rely on your headset microphones, because you need good quality, solid voice when podcasting. And this is the banner that I made for Tonzi. It's just a simple banner. I made this in like 6 minutes, and I'm gonna come up with a better one, or maybe hire somebody to create an official ID for his show. But as you can see, there's this guy here, and I just created this using Fireworks. You can also use Photoshop or other free image editing software. So let me go back to the website, and whenever we broadcast, after Spreaker.com is finished with the episode, it automatically sends it to SoundCloud, which is a bigger community of podcasters and artists and DJs. And then it also creates a post for us on Twitter and YouTube. So that is an overview of the system I'm using. And as I said again, I'm gonna be repetitive here. You don't need fancy software and equipment. You don't need a fancy studio. All you need to have is a computer, internet connection, a good microphone, and a message. You need a message to be able to podcast, and that message should be your driving force to come up with excellent podcast episodes. Again, this is Jerry Gerald. Friends call me Jerry, but you can also call me Gerald Laquara. You can find me on Jerry Media. That's where I teach people how to use technology, and I'm going to teach podcasting there soon. You can also find me on Podcast Pilipinas. That's the service that I founded, and I'm going to develop it into a podcasting portal. And of course, we have the Gian Chandler Show on PinoyPodcast.com. We air daily live, Monday to Saturday, 8 to 9 a.m. New York time, 8 to 9 p.m. Manila time. And on Saturdays, you can listen to Tonzi with the Tonight with Tonzi show. That's 10 p.m. Manila time, 10 a.m. New York time on Podcast Pilipinas. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon again. Bye.